All right, fam, here is part 2 of me giving birth to this little guy right here in Central America, Panama City, Panama. If you didn't already watch part 1, go back and watch that one now, where I talk about my doctor's visits leading up to me actually giving birth. So as I said before, I had an absolutely amazing experience with my pregnancy and giving birth in Panama. But it is important to know that that is not without having to learn, sometimes the hard way, about some major differences between giving birth here in the US and in Central America. During our process of going to our doctor's appointments, we were always asking about the actual birth and the payment. And our doctor was very relaxed. He was just like, oh yeah, you just pay at the time of. And we're like, okay, well, do we need to make payments leading up to it? And he's like, oh no, you're good. Not bad, right? He told us how much the things were. What we found out though is everything is separate. Now, what I mean by everything being separate is you pay for your doctor that is actually delivering you. Then you have to hire a pediatrician, which ideally someone who has worked with your doctor before. You have to pay for your pediatrician. You also have to pay for any circumcision that you would want to get after the baby's birth. And you have to pay for your actual room that you stay in the hospital. So even though you don't necessarily have to take care of these things in advance, I would strongly suggest going ahead and doing it, or at least taking care of the facility where you'll be giving birth and your actual doctor, which of course you've been seeing all this time before, but paying him for the actual delivery process. We kind of waited to the end to pay for everything, and as I was in labor, my husband was like downstairs trying to figure out everything and realizing that all of the payments were due kind of like right then at that moment. There is no, hey, I'm gonna bill this to you or send you this bill later. Like at the time you give birth, before you leave the hospital, you have to pay in full. Now, I'm assuming this is because, with us being American, if we were to get on a flight and leave, they would really have no way of collecting those finances. So to make sure that you're not pulling one over, I'm assuming that they just take that payment right then. We ended up paying a little bit over $3,000 for everything, which isn't bad, but it is something to know if you have to pay like immediately, like right now. Now, like I said before, we didn't have any insurance plan or anything in Panama, so I'm not sure if it would be different if that was the case. Again, it was very inexpensive out of pocket, comparatively, of course. But that money, like I said before, is due right then. So make sure if you were planning to have a baby in Central America, in Panama, you have your full payment for everything, your pediatrician, your labor and delivery, that includes like the nurses and stuff, with the actual facility that you pay for, and anything else that you want, the circumcision, the earrings, ear piercing, if you have girls, be ready to pay for that out of pocket right then. Again, there is no payment plan. I'm coming back for this later. More than likely, they're going to tell you no, and they probably lock you up.